Okay, welcome everyone to the call today. How's everyone doing? I hope that we're all good. Excited. Monday is the new start of the week, right? So, really excited to get into this. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. So, I want to sort of jump right in. And how's everyone doing? Type in the chat. How's everyone doing on a Monday? Some people are still maybe sleeping. Okay, Madeline says tired. Okay, tired. Yes, it's going. We're going and going and going. So yeah, sure. Good morning to Travis. Okay. What else? What's everyone been doing? I hope you've been enjoying your Sunday. No homework yesterday, so I hope you spent good quality time enjoying your Sunday. So it's 11 o'clock now. Let's just jump right in and start. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a minute. Right. Okay. So we are in day 8, and I'm excited to start. How's the challenge going for you so far? This is a very important question. We have got just 2 more days, day 9 and day 10, and then the challenge is over, right? So, how is the challenge going for you people so far? It's important for me to know, am I going too fast? Is the content, maybe it's gone over your head because I was speaking too quickly, or maybe it may not be relevant for you. You're thinking, oh, it sounds great, but it's not going to work for my business. I want to hear it, right? I want to hear whatever you have in your mind. Please put it in the chat so I can see what you have in your, what you have in mind, so that we can try to address it, right? Like, how's the challenge going so far? Can you cope? Are you able to follow through? And put in the chat so I can see. Let me just admit a few more people who are just about to come in. All right. Okay. And let's keep moving. Right. So today, sorry, this is updated. Today is where your story comes alive, right? We are in day 8 right now. Today is where your story actually comes alive. And so to that end, like I said, there are 3 things you have to do every day. And I want to ask you specifically, how was the homework from day 5 and day 6? Anyone completed it? Please say me in the chat. Those of you who completed the homework of day 5 and day 6. You had 1 additional day. Yay, Madeline says she did it for day 5. Great. I'm going to, who else? Okay, day 6 half. Good stuff. I know we are all busy, right? We are all very busy. We've got lots of things to do, but I think it's important to also take time to get this homework done. Who else has done the homework? Please put in the chat right now. Put in the chat right now if you've done the homework. And for those of you, okay, still converting to English, I understand. For those of you who maybe your English is not your first language, you don't have to answer it in English, right? As long as you answer it in your own language, it is fine. But during the session, you may need to translate for me if we are communicating, right? I also understand to some extent a little bit Bahasa Indonesia. So bisa if you want to do it in Bahasa, yeah, bisa. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next part. Okay, Madeline says she has a question. Okay, so she says the service businesses need the human touch that cannot be replaced by online. How do we do business today? Okay, this is a very, very, very good question, because a lot of people feel that they should be the human touch, and I would say it's true. it's true. There are some businesses, for example, like hospital, right? Hospital business. You definitely need the human touch, right? Because you need to go and see the doctor, right? So I would say that if you look at our history, and you'll see, Madeline, you will see that you will notice that a lot of our history, we thought we needed something, and today we do not need that, right? So in the old days, for example, the accountants, especially the accountants, they said that, you know what, if you make an expense, you need to make a claim. And to make the claim, I need to see the receipt, the actual paper. I don't care about photograph or whatever. I need to see the actual paper, right? So this was the old way of the accountants. Now, the new way in the US and elsewhere is they take photos and they upload the photos, and the finance department and also the tax department accepts it, for example, in the US. But many countries don't accept that for now. Now, the problem with the old system is that everything has got a good and a bad. Okay, so how do we do business today is your question, right? So to me, it's, of course, service business, you need the human touch, it's better. But there's sometimes that actually not meeting face to face is actually a better thing. Okay, so you've got to look at the better part. What's good for the situation that you're in right now. So right now we're in lockdown. So let me give you an example of the medical industry, right? So when you're sick, you need to see a doctor, right? You have to go to the doctor. Doctor has to examine you, right? So there's something called telemedicine, and you can Google it, where it is the new way of medicine, whereby they are, the doctor actually talks to you over the phone, right? And says, and inspects you over the phone and says, okay, tell me about this, tell me about that, and actually diagnoses you and gives you the medication over the phone. So it's called telemedicine. There's another one, because sometimes the doctor cannot meet you for whatever reason, you're living in a remote area. There's sometimes that surgery, you know, when you have to do like a heart surgery or some surgery, you have to go to the hospital, right? And the surgeon has to operate you. Today, it's not many surgeries today. The simple ones are being done by robots, right? So the surgeon is maybe miles away, controlling a robot, and the robot is actually operating you, cutting you, and taking out the stuff that's no good, and sewing you back. It's the robot that's doing it, but it's robotic arms that the surgeon is controlling, right? So whatever we used to think that, oh my God, you absolutely need to have face-to-face kind of environment, today is being done virtually. So I would say the word cannot be replaced. Maybe you need to rethink that, right? You may need to rethink the cannot be replaced, because everything slowly over time is being replaced. It's being replaced by online. Okay, let's move on. So I want to ask you, so far, I have got only one response from Madeline, right? And for those of you who just joined, my question is, how many of you have completed the homework for day 5 and day 6? Please put me in the chat, right? Please put me in the chat, those of you who have completed your homework for day 5 and day 6. The reason why I am going on and on and on about day 5 and day 6 is because this is the starting point. Remember, what made you take this challenge, right? What made you come for this challenge? Because you wanted to recover lost sales for the most part, right? You wanted to, you felt you wanted to grow. Okay, so now being in the comfort zone, right? Even though we are many miles away, right? And I'm at the other end of the screen, I can't come and, you know, sit beside you and do anything to you, right? So it's easy to just relax and think, okay, no problem. But remember, on day 2, we actually did the homework about your goals, right? And about your, like, what you really want in your life, right? What is it that you really want? So now's the time to go back to your goals, right? Like, what do you want to get out of this program? What do you want to get out of this and actually recover your sales. If it's anything to do with customer, right? Not even just sales, anything to do with customer, you need to do homework 5 on day 5 and homework on day 6, because that is the absolute critical part of the next steps forward, right? Once you come up with the challenges that your customer is facing, once you understand your customer better, you'll be able to connect with them better. So when you connect with them, that's where you come up with the story, right? So the outcome of this entire challenge is for you to come up with a story-based value proposition that you can then go to your customer, and the customer will go, wow, that's something fresh, that's something new. So all you people who, before were afraid to go to your customer, all you people before who were sending messages to your customer, but they were ignoring them, all you people who wanted to do something with your website, but you didn't know what to put on your website that would make it relevant to your customer in this time during Corona, right? All of you who have those questions, this day homework, day 5 and day 6 are the seeds that's going to grow into that beautiful tree that gives you the fruits that you can eat, right? So imagine that, this is the planting of the seed right now, right? You want to eat the fruit, which is more sales. So you want to plant the seed. So the seed is this understanding the homework. Then later, when you build your story and communicate your story, that is your tree. Okay, that is your tree. And when your tree bears fruit, when your tree gives you, if you like mangoes or papayas or whatever, your lovely fruit that you want, right? Whatever your favorite fruit is, it has to come first from the seed. Okay, so just very quickly here, right now, no risk, no reward. Maybe some of you are in comfort zone, right? You don't have, you're thinking like, you know what, it's okay, no problem, I'm in comfort zone. But I don't think so. Maybe some of you are in fear zone. Okay, you're thinking, you know what, I can't do this. This, whatever that Indhran is saying is way, way above my head. I can't really do this, right? You lack self-confidence because you are feeling that you're fear, or you feel like, no, I don't think I can do this, right? So it's called imposter syndrome. That means I'm not me. I'm just pretending to be somebody else, but I'm not really me. Okay. Then it's a learning zone, which is I hope where you are right now. You are in a learning zone where you're saying, you know what? I'm going to take on this recovery challenge. I'm going to accept the challenge for this 10 days, and I'm going to do what it takes to achieve and get new skills, right? Remember how I said, the thing is you must make that commitment. Once you make that commitment, that's when you will be able to take the necessary decisions and develop the capabilities, because you're going to fall down. You're going to make mistakes. And I'm here during this challenge to actually help you, right? I want to help you. I want to, if you make sales, like we already have one case, it's Clarence, and he can't make it today because he has a personal family emergency that's been happening for the last few days. That's why he can't make it. But he's already got a success story. Okay, so when he comes back, I want him to tell you all guys about the success story that he has had by taking the knowledge into this particular and let me just explain this to you, right? Okay, look, the knowledge I give you is actually useless. That's right. The knowledge that I'm giving you guys is actually useless. People say knowledge is power, and that is not true. Okay, knowledge is not power. Knowledge in action is power. Okay, so the knowledge that I'm giving you is actually useless if you don't do anything with it. No matter how good this knowledge is, it's useless to you if you cannot recover lost sales, if you cannot grow as a human being, if you cannot develop some capabilities, right? So the only way that you are going to be able to profit from this situation, to profit from the information I'm giving you, to develop new skills, right, is to take action. And that's why I actually want you to take action. And the action is in the form of the action items and also the homework, right? The homework to be done. Every day, my commitment to you is I'm going to come on live, 11 a.m. Singapore time. I am coming on live. In fact, 15 minutes before, I'm already live, accepting all the people who are the early birds, right? So I love that commitment. I love the energy of you guys. I love the enthusiasm, right? But after the class is done, this knowledge must be turned into action. And then you are powerful. And then you got real world results. Okay, so let me keep going. I think it's really important that the comfort zone is not your friend. Okay, being in the comfort zone is not your friend. Being in the fear zone is not your friend. Okay, you need to be in the learning zone, which will then lead to you being in the growth zone, right? So you will have clarity of your customer. You will be aligned with your customers' hopes and dreams. You will be on a purpose because you know now exactly how you can talk to your customer. You will know your customer story and you'll know exactly how you can fulfill those customer needs. You will know the story gap in this case, right? And you will get the fulfillment, in this case, joy, happiness, and of course, if you're in sales, you get your commissions. If you are a business owner, you get it in terms of profit. You get it in terms of brand loyalty. You get it in terms of customer testimonials, right? This is where you feel like, wow, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm challenging myself, I'm moving on each day. Okay, so let me move on. So any insights you want to share? Thank you, Madeline, for sharing your insights. I really appreciate it. Great stuff. I love that you're sharing your insights. What about the rest? Okay, what about the rest? What are you sharing, right? What are you sharing? Please share with me. Tell me, what are your questions, right? Any insights that you have received so far, right? What has been interesting for you? What has been difficult for you? If you think you don't want to share it in the group, send me a private message, right? On the chat right now, send it to me privately, just only to me, and say, this is my challenge, this is it. So at least I will know how to handle the thing moving forward, right? So, okay, let's keep moving on. Let's do the recap of yesterday. And remember, we talked about, I made it a simpler format for you called the SIR, SIR, right? Situation, impact, resolution, right? And then you've got the OSIRA. OSIRA is the opening and action added in. Okay, I'm not going to go deep into it, but remember, you need a bold opening. Why do you need such a bold opening? I will explain to you in a while. Okay, we also did this, which is really, really amazing. Okay, we did this, which is really, really amazing. And that is part of your homework, right? So who wants to get into the hot seat today, right? Who wants to throw up their challenge in doing the homework? Who wants me to review the homework? Okay, so I get a note from Madeline here saying, it's hard to fill the workbook for day 6. Okay, so if Madeline, if you're open to me, seems like you are my star student today. Okay, you are my star student. If you're open, right, to me, to opening up to sharing your screen and opening up your workbook for day 6, I am happy to guide you through it, right? Through a series of questions and for everyone to learn. So if Madeline, you're open to it, just say yes in the chat, right? Just say yes in the chat. Okay, some of you have already private messaged me. Thank you for your private message, right? Thank you for your private message. And Madeline says yes. Okay, great. So let me stop the sharing and let me get us into, I'll let Madeline start to share her screen. Just give me a minute. Let me give you the option to share your screen. Okay, so Madeline, I've allowed you to share your screen. You can actually share day. Excellent. Okay. So, right. So let's just go the first one. Right. In the customer's words, what is the job they are doing that causes them to pull the products and service into their life? Madeline, if you can unmute yourself and just quickly explain what you do again for everyone so that everyone understands as well.
In customers' words, I don't understand, but what is the job they are doing, the cause of they pull the product and service into their lives? In my mind, is it because of their job get into their life and involved of their life? Maybe if the work according to this desire or to dominates his life. I mean, maybe they work from 6 to 11 at night or whatever, maybe.
Okay, let me just explain to you a little bit,
Yeah.
because this is something that is very powerful, right? It's a new way of thinking, right? It's a new way of thinking. So you have to adapt this new way of thinking, because everybody who did marketing before this was doing it in the old way. And then Professor Clayton Christensen from Harvard University, from Harvard Business School, actually came up with this method, and it made McDonald's hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. It increased their sales by many, many times. Okay, so what is it? Let me ask you something. Okay, now assuming that you need to keep your mouth clean, right? Every day you brush your teeth, and you need to keep your mouth clean. Okay, now some people use a toothbrush, okay, but there are many people around the world in many countries, they cannot afford a toothbrush. So they use their finger, okay, they use their finger to clean their teeth, right? Some other people, they use a stick or a twig to clean their teeth, okay? So if I want to clean my teeth, okay, I need to hire imagine that you are a boss and you need to hire an employee to do a job, right? So if I need to do my accounts, I need to hire an accountant to do my accounts for me, okay? If I need to sell something, I need to hire a salesperson to go and stand in my shop and sell. If I need to get the food of my restaurant out to my customers, I need to hire a chef to do the job, okay? So these are all humans that I'm hiring. What if, and here, what if I do the same for the products that I use? Imagine I have to hire, so for example, the chef job description is, okay, come into the restaurant 2 hours before the restaurant opens, take all the food out, cut all the vegetables, fry the vegetables, and then serve it to the waiter. The waiter gives it to the customer. Okay, so the job description of the JD of the chef is very clear. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, and this is what you should not do. And if you miss any of this, I'm sorry, I don't need you anymore. I'll get a new chef. Okay, so imagine the same if you want to do that for your toothbrush. Okay, I want to clean the teeth. So I need something to clean my teeth, because my teeth will not clean by itself. I need to clean my teeth. Okay, so I need to hire a product. I need to hire a thing to clean my teeth. So so here, for example, in the customer's words, what is the job they are doing that causes them to pull the product and service into their lives? So I have a job. My job is to clean teeth. Okay, so to clean my teeth every day, I need some help. Okay, so what causes, so it's coming back to the root, right? So the toothbrush is actually, it's not about selling toothbrushes, it's about having clean teeth in this case. Okay, but not just clean teeth, there are many other things, reasons why you clean your teeth, right? And I'm giving an example of cleaning your teeth. So Madeline, again, you are in the tourism, right? You do events, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you do events. So in your case, these people have a job to be done. They need to take their employees out of their company. If the employees stay in the company, they feel very frustrated and very bored. They feel like it's locked down inside the company. They need to get out, right? They need to get out. So they need to have, so for example, the job that they need done is that they need to have, in that case, for example, team building. Okay, they need a team building type of situation, or uh, they need to have to train their employees. They need to expand the horizon of their employees. They need to attend meetings. They need to meet somewhere. Okay, so because of this, because of the need to do something outside the office, right? They cannot stay in their office. They need to do this outside. They need it. So what is it that's pulling your service into their lives? Now, they may not need your service. There are many other ways for them to get out of the office. For example, they can do something in their own, in a hotel, with a like an annual dinner. They can have an employee day where they have all the employees gathered together. They may not need you, right? So first of all is to understand what is the job. For example, the toothbrush. Okay, I may not need a toothbrush. Okay, if I'm really a rich person, and I have a assistant to help me, I may just open my mouth and some other person is cleaning my teeth for me using some other, maybe a UV or laser thing, or I might go to a dentist and get my teeth cleaned, right? I may not need a toothbrush. At the same time, if I don't use a toothbrush, I may use just my finger. Sometimes in some countries, they don't have that, so they just use their finger to clean their mouths, right? Some people use a mouthwash, right? And they feel that that is the thing that they would use because it's easy for them and they don't need a toothbrush, for example, right? So in your case, your customer has got lots of options. That's what I'm trying to say. Your customer has got a lot of options, okay? So what is causing you have to understand what is the job that they have to do. Once you understand the job that they need to be done, then you can spec your job description to that situation.
I see.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now for the rest of you who are listening to Madeline's situation, if you don't understand, please jump in the chat and actually say, no, I didn't understand that, and ask a question, right? Ask a question if you didn't understand that. Madeline seems to understand. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is, you can keep sharing the screen, Madeline. We'll go to the next, or did you, yeah, let's help you to actually do this, okay? Let's help you to do your homework right here. So situation life cycle, right? So let's keep the conversation going. Where Madeline is the luckiest girl in the group. You know why? Because she doesn't have to do her homework. I'm doing it for her. Anyway, keep going. Okay, so situation life cycle. What, where, and why did the job occur? Okay, as a decision journey or part of the everyday process. Okay, so let me take an example again of two products. One is toothpaste or toothbrush, right? The other one is a wedding. Okay, you don't have a wedding every day. Well, at least I hope you don't have a wedding every day, but could be interesting too, but let's not get into that. But assuming that you have a wedding once in a lifetime, okay, but you brush your teeth every single day, okay? So if you are going to have a wedding, right, that is part of a long decision process, right? You plan for it, you choose the beautiful outfit that you're going to wear, you choose who to invite, you choose the venue, blah 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 blah. It's a whole long thing, right? But buying toothbrush or whatever, or using the toothbrush every day, this is a normal thing, right? It happens every day. At least I hope it happens every day, right? So So right now, in your case, it is not an everyday process. Okay, this is part of the customer journey that the employees come to work every day, but the employees don't do events every day. Okay, it's not a normal thing. They may do it 3 times a year, 1 time a year, right? They may even do it every month, but it's not an everyday process. That means there's some planning to be done. There's some, like the milkshake in McDonald's example, was every single work day, right? Every day they came to work, it was part of their routine. They came into McDonald's, they bought the milkshake because the milkshake was the only thing that could do the job. The only thing that could do the job of driving, of their 1 hour drive, keeping them just enough, keeping them full enough to go on to lunch, but not too full that they would have to miss their lunch. It would keep their hands occupied just as they were driving, as opposed to a donut, which was messy. So the donut didn't do a good job, right? The donut didn't do a good job because their fingers would get sticky, and the steering wheel would get all gooey and messy, and then they had to clean the steering wheel after that, right? Not a good. So the donut was not a good candidate for this job. Okay, the job to be done. So what is the job to be done? The job to be done, if I have to spec my job, is I have a 1 hour drive to my work. Okay, I have to keep my eye on the road all the time. One hand needs to be on the steering wheel, but the other hand, I want to do something with it. Okay, I want to, and at the same time, I want to eat. Okay, so very important here is understanding this particular decision, the decision of the customer, right? So in this case, yes, it is a decision. It's a whole process that they do. They say, okay, this year we will go to Bali. Next year we will go to Ambon, right? They have got decisions in for them, and they say, okay, this year it's going to be the theme that we're going to do with our people is maybe we are fed up of last year. Last year we did this event and it was horrible. Okay, we worked with this event planner. Not her name is not Madeline, but this other event planner, and it was a bad thing because she took us to this thing and we did this and we did that, and that was no good. So you can see donut, milkshake, donut, milkshake. So the donut, they tried it before, they are not happy with it. So what are the donuts in your customer's life, right? Do not be a donut in this case, right? You want to be a milkshake. So to understand, if you are a donut right now, many of you are having a problem in your business because you are selling donuts when the customer really, really needs a milkshake. Okay, so understand, and having this process, understanding the job to be done in this particular framework that I've created for you will really help you to tailor make your value proposition, right? So you've got the value proposition and then you couch it in a story. Remember, we talked about the cat and the medicine and how the cat will not want to take that value proposition, will not want to take that medicine until you put it in a storytelling format, which I've also given to you, the Osira, right? The Osira format. Right. Okay, let's keep going. So what is the functional role of the job? What do you think, Madeline? What do you think is the functional role of this job? The function, what does the job do? So I'll give you an example, right? The functional role of a watch is to tell the time. That's it. That's its function. Okay? The emotional role of a job is actually makes you feel good when you wear it. It makes you feel great. Okay? It makes you, for example, if you want to give it as a gift, okay, you have the great feeling about it. Okay? The social element of the watch is that, hey, when I walk out here, I feel pride, I feel accepted. Okay, so for example, if I am trying to be accepted with a bunch of big businessman, right? Um, the social role of my car, which is a Mercedes-Benz, and my watch, which is a Rolex, is going to help me to be somewhat in their group. Okay, if they are all into driving big cars and they're wearing luxury watches, then when I wear my Rolex and I arrive at my Mercedes-Benz with my Mercedes-Benz car, I don't feel out of place. I get social acceptance. Okay, so the job of my Rolex, for example, has got many levels to it. A functional level, when I look at it, it tells me the time. Great. Okay. Functional, the Rolex is waterproof. Functional, when I knock my Rolex to the on a wall or something, or if I hit my Rolex, it's going to keep telling the time. It's not going to break when it falls down. So functional, these are all functional roles of the job. Okay, functional roles of the watch. When I wear the watch, it makes me feel great. I feel like I'm James Bond when I wear this Rolex, right? It makes me feel so good. That is the emotional role of my watch. And then comes the social role, which I explained earlier. When I walk in with a Rolex, people look at me and they think, okay, he is one of us. Okay, he has arrived. So when I come and I dress a certain way, and I talk a certain way, and I look a certain way, then I get accepted into a group, right? Because they think, okay, he talks like one of us, he looks like one of us, he wears whatever that one of us is wearing. Okay, he must be one of us. Okay, that kind of a thing. So let's go back to your situation, Madeline. What do you think is the functional role of your job, of the job that your clients need to be done?
I do all the I manage all, so they don't have to take that time. I mean, I do everything and they just tell me what to do and I'll do the rest.
Okay, I understand, but what you're telling me is the service you're providing. I'm not interested right now to talk about the service that you will provide, because that comes after. Right now, I want to know what is the job that they need to get done in their site. If they choose you or they choose somebody else, it doesn't matter, right? Or if they don't even choose anyone and they do it in-house, they do it by themselves. But what is that job that needs to be done? What is that functional? What is the key result that they're looking for? What is the KPI? What is the outcome that they need to get done?
Okay, I can give them or offer them what they need, such as I can, for example, these are doctors needs to go to or bankers. They need to learn about the new type of business. So I can choose for them the places, the cities that have an event, for example,
Okay.
event in
Let me stop
UK.
you. Let me
Okay.
stop you. Okay. It is not right now about what you can do. Okay, I'm not interested in what you can do. I'm interested in what the problem they have. And you said earlier, you said the doctors need something called CPD, continuing professional development, right? Where they need to keep up to date with all the knowledge that they have. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So they have this
Yes.
the job to be done. Okay, the job to be done is I need to learn new things. Okay, I need to learn new things. And the only way that I can learn new things is not by reading a book, by attending a conference, by attending a meeting where everyone or other doctors are also there, and I can learn from them, from the experts there. That's the key thing. So here, the functional role of this job to be done, this job needs to be done is that they need to learn new products. Okay, they need to learn new products, and they cannot learn it on their own. It's not something where they go on Google and they can read it, or they go on what. This is so specialized information because it's part of the professional body, which is the medical association, right? So the medical association will organize something like that, and then they will choose Madeline to take it. Madeline will come to them and say, look, I can do this, I can do that. But we're not coming to what Madeline can do for them. We're coming to what is their problem right now, or rather, they need a job to be done. They need something. They need, in this case, to get points for their, they need to get, because they have, it's called CPD in Australia anyway, it's called CPD in Australia, continuing professional development, right? So the doctor who attends this conference or attends this event will get certain points, maybe 5 points or 6 points, and they need 10 points a year to keep their license to be operating as a doctor, right? So this is super duper important. It's a job to be done, okay? So the functional role is education, right? They need to get, this particular thing needs to be education, okay? So in this case, in your cases, take, for example, doctor's situation, right? Or bankers, right? They need to get education, right? So get educated. Okay, good. Now, what is the emotional job to be done? You know what? When they go there, they can see their friends. They can, actually, sorry, the social part is seeing their friends. So for emotional, right? What is the emotional job that to be done? So in this case, right? I want you to go back. So you have the doctors, and then you have your client, which is doing it for the doctors, okay? So in this case, your model is more for the client. So what is the emotional? So basically, what you want, what your client really wants at the end of the day, and I'm guessing, right? Because I don't know your client, but I'm guessing they want to get at the end of the conference, the doctors have to give the feedback of what I thought about this event and what I thought. And they want the doctors to say, wow, they want to get high scores from their end user, from all the doctors who attended that event for the education. They want to get a very high level of scores. So they want to feel that they have done a great job. So there's an emotional part about it. Okay. Now, if you are a, for example, if your client is a government organization, it's different, right? Because no choice, all the doctors have to go back to them anyway. But if the medical association has chosen your client, and next year they may choose another client, okay? They may choose another event organizer. So that means that your client every year has to keep themselves on their toes, right? So here they are very worried about the competition, right? So the emotional role here is to make them feel that they are doing something that's different from everybody else, right? And then there's a social role of this job. So this job that needs to be done, you and your client, right, have got to make this something where there are lasting relationships maybe to be had, or maybe give them an opportunity to have a new experience where they meet new people. So, in every event, I'm sure you have a networking session. Heck, even in my training, Hadimi volunteered to do a networking session. That was not in the whole thing that we talked about initially, right? When you came not to network with people, you came to recover your sales, full stop, right? But the idea here is for us to create a social community. And thank you, Hadimi, for suggesting that and bringing that into the picture, because I really think it's great that we come as a team. So this is not so much just about the functional role of you recovering your sales in the case of me. It's about the emotional. So, okay, so let me take my example, right? For this recovery process, what are the three things? What is the functional role? Functional role is the job to be done here is recover sales. That's it. I'm going to give you a framework to recover your sales, full stop. Okay, then my job is done functionally, right? So you've got the templates, you've got the videos, you've got the live training, you've got the homework, you've got all of that functional role, right? Functional role to help you to recover your sales, full stop. Okay, what about the emotional role? Okay, the emotional role is day 1, day 2, day 3, where I gave you the mindset training, the sales habits of a billionaire. So now whenever you go and see the customer, you know that the techniques that you are using is exactly the same as the billionaires are using. And I've proven it to you, right? When you go and see your customer, you know that they are techniques that I have shared with you is what Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson are all using. So what does it all mean from an emotional job to be done? It means that you are confident, okay? And when you are confident, the customer buys into your confidence, right? The customer never buys a product or service or idea. They buy the confidence, because at the time when they're signing the document, at the time when they're paying you the money, they haven't really tried your product yet. They haven't really experienced your service yet. They're paying you money based on the confidence, okay? Because they have the hope, that your solution, they buy on the hope, right? It's very important. What's the customer buying? Customer buys hope. They buy, when they sign the deal, the customer is buying hope that your solution is the one that's going to work for them, right? That's the point where they're paying money. That's the point where they sign the contract. That's the point where they shake your hand and say, okay, let's do it. But really, you haven't done anything yet. You've just closed the deal. That's all, right? So they're buying the hope that your solution will fit, okay? And what is the biggest determination? What is the biggest determinant? What is the biggest reason for them for their hope to go up is your level of confidence. So the emotional content on day 1, day 2, day 3, and also tomorrow, day 9, right, which is the resilience training, is all about the emotional elements of the emotional job to be done. So you feel like, wow, after I attended the recovery sales training, I got so many skills, and if a billionaire can do it, and I want you to get the feeling that if I think like a billionaire, if I act like a billionaire, right, chances are I will get the results of a billionaire. And I'm going to do that. And I have the confidence. And when the customer sees you, when other people see you, they see you with a different look, right? Because you have got the skills, attitude, the knowledge, and the capability to move forward, right? So, and then what is the social role? Okay, so the social role is a sense of community for the recovery group, right? That's why I'm even doing it live. Why do I have to do it live? I can do it in a way that we do it all e-learning, right? I do it in e-learning videos, like 10 videos every day. You guys do the videos and you learn whatever, and you do it on your own time, right? You do it, it's much easier, right? You don't have to wake up a certain time. You don't have to be here on time. No problem. You can do it whenever you're free or whatever. But why do we do it where everyone comes together, everyone learns together, is for the social role. Now, everyone except Madeline right now is benefiting also from this session that Madeline has shared her screen, right? Because there's a social element. Madeline's challenge is not only Madeline's challenge. Madeline's challenge is everyone in this group also has a similar challenge, right? Everyone is trying to complete their homework, but frankly, maybe they are a bit confused because maybe I'm speaking too fast. Maybe I'm covering too much in this session. And it's true, I'm sorry, it's true. I have covered too much in this session. And maybe you're lucky, maybe you're unlucky, I don't know, right? But I have covered too much. And yeah, but like I said, take whatever you think you can use and use it, right? But day 5, day 6 homework is non-negotiable. If you want to be successful, if you want to recover your sales, you absolutely 110% without a doubt you have to understand your customer, right? You have to understand where your customer is coming from if you want to serve your customer. The only way you can earn money today is by serving your customer well, serving your customer better than any other competitor out there, right? And it all starts, as I said, with understanding the customer. And day, in fact, day 5, day 6, and day 7, day 5, day 6 homework, right, is very, very key for that, right? Okay, let's keep moving. What about the barriers? Okay, sorry, motivation. Sorry, I'm sorry, I missed that. Motivation. What motivates the customer? Okay, right. So in this case, I kind of already explained it earlier. If they didn't use Madeline's service, who did they use before, right? If they didn't take their doctors, in this case, the doctor example, for a lovely retreat in Bali, where did they go? Maybe they all went to Jakarta and they went to some nice hotel in Jakarta and it was fine, right? Or maybe it was not fine because everyone is, most of the doctors are living in Jakarta and they were like, you know what, I don't want to, this year we had it in Jakarta, next year, please, we don't want to have it in Jakarta again. We want to go out of Jakarta somewhere, anywhere, Bandung, I don't care. But we don't want to have it in the same city as we are living, for example, right? So why, if they didn't use you and do a planning like that, what did they do, and how did they do it? How was it for them? Okay, how was it for them? Were they happy about it? Clearly, if they were happy about it, you have no way to enter. Okay, but if they were even something they were unhappy about it, you can say, okay, look, I can do this for you this year. I can do this. I can do this. You tell me what you want, right? You tell me what challenges you had last year, and I will share with you. Okay, barriers. Okay, now what are the pains in the job that the product is solving? Okay, so here in this case, the barriers, right? The pains in the job. So the job is, I need education, right? The job is every year, oh my God, the doctors want a new place. I'm so fed up. I wish that they could just say, okay, every year we go to this nice hotel, maybe Ritz-Carlton in Kuningan, right? Every year we'll do this for the next 15 years, no problem. I know Ritz-Carlton very well, and Ritz-Carlton can just organize it, and we can just do this, right? But even then, it's a problem because every year the knowledge is changing. So every year I can't use the same speaker to come and speak at my event because the knowledge is changing. Just like in medicine, in marketing, in technology, in IT, the information is moving so fast. So I need to find new speakers, I need to find new themes, I need to find new locations, right? So this is a huge, big challenge for me. So what are the pains? I just gave you all the pains, right? So Madeline, your job, what can you do, right? Your product right now, now we're coming to what you can do, okay? We're coming to what you can do. So earlier you told me, I can do this, I can do that, tell me. Right. So what are the pains in the job right now? And this goes back to homework of day 4, I believe, or day 5, right? Whereby I asked you, what are the challenges? Okay. What are the challenges? Okay. And stuff like that. So maybe Madeline, do you want to put something in? What are the pains in the job that your product is solving?
I still don't get what means of the pains.
Problem.
A problem.
Yeah, problem. Meaning that I gave you an example earlier. Your client, every year they have to find a new location and they have to find something interesting for their people, and they're tired of that. It's painful for them to do that every year. So if they can give this thing to Madeline to do it for them, they'll be happy.
So this is from their side, the pain, the problem from their side.
Yeah, from their side, and that the product is solving. Yeah, that's right. So like milkshake, right?
Oh.
Let's take the milkshake example. what are the pains that the milkshake is solving? So the milkshake is actually solving the problem that the donuts cannot do. Why? Because after you eat a donut, you feel full. Just like after you drink a milkshake, you feel full, and it's great. But after 30 minutes, you get hungry again because the donut is a light thing. Okay, but after you take the milkshake and you take the milkshake, you feel full, and after 30 minutes, you still feel full. You don't feel hungry. Okay, and you don't feel hungry until it's near to lunchtime, and that is a pain for a lot of people. They're getting hungry very often, and they're eating a lot of stuff, and maybe it's making them unhealthy because they're snacking on the wrong stuff, or maybe they don't like it, or maybe they're seen as unproductive because you're doing your work busy, and then all of a sudden you have to stop your work and then open up a bunch of crackers or eat a donut and whatever, and then wash your hands or wipe your hands with a tissue or wet wipes, right? It's a bit of a mess. What if during your drive to work, you just had that milkshake, right? You had your coffee in the morning when you were at home, and then you go into McDonald's, you take your milkshake, and then it's done. You don't have to worry about food until lunch. Okay, so what are the pains in the job that the product is solving? So in this case, my job is I need to be not hungry until lunchtime. Between breakfast and lunch, I need not to eat any food. Okay, so milkshake helps me to do that. The moment I take my milkshake, it tastes great, right? So the jobs, okay. So I can see here, unmanaged well, the organizer cannot arrange as they want. Okay, yes, yeah. But we don't have time right now, but I would expect you to be a lot more specific, right? Because the more specific you are about the pains, the more you will be able to tailor make your product and your value proposition better. I know you're thinking, look at McDonald's, for example, right? They not pick up, okay.
Miss, like, yeah, not pick up in the airport because, for example, there are 100 people,
Yeah.
and two from this time, for this time, and then like that, and I know what the if they are like a director and you have to manage each of them, I understand them, but others don't understand.
Okay, so that
Okay.
that is really awesome, right? That's really awesome. So when you start putting out the pains here, right? When you start putting out the pains, automatically in your mind, you will be able to, when you're speaking to the customer, you will start to also focus on this in a different way, in a way that makes the customer feel like, wow, if it's really important to them, right? And this is the thing. This is now what you think is important to you, right? By right, as per the recovery, today is the day that you're supposed to go to your customers with your new value proposition, everything all done. Okay, but it's okay. We will take a little bit more time to do that. But by right, today was supposed to be the day that you connect with your buyer, the day that you put your new value proposition to the buyer, and the day that the buyer will tell you, okay, great, sign me up for something, or no, I'm not interested, and getting back the feedback, right? So if the buyer says, you know what, Madeline, to be honest, I don't really care about these, that the doctors are treated well, because you know what, doctors are always complaining about everything. So don't worry about their complaint. It's not important. But I'm really interested in this. Okay, then what is the pain? What is the new pain, for example? But in your case, I truly understand. Like doctors, we have to treat them with respect, right? Or the director, they don't like to wait a long time in the airport because they are very impatient. They're not like you and me kind of people, right? They are very, very impatient, and they want to get to the destination on time. So if you know that there is a VVIP, you are able to handle that, so that then the VVIP gets an amazing experience, for example, right? So that's the kind of stuff that you're trying to you're trying to convey, right? You're trying to convey that I will pick them up in the airport on time, and you may even have in your solution, you may even have a KPI, right? They will not, the moment they come out of the airport, they will not wait longer than 15 minutes. If they wait longer than 15 minutes, then you will add something, you will give them like a guarantee, right? So this way you can differentiate yourself from the competition, for example, right? Okay, the next one, let's go on. Gains, right? So here is the root cause. Okay, so here is what we talked about. If barriers, right? If barriers, maybe it's not so clear, but if barriers is the pain, the anger, right? Sure, the customer will be angry. You know what? If they're waiting 15 minutes outside, right? They've taken their bag. You can't control the time of the flight. No problem, right? But the moment the flight lands and they've collected their bag and they've come out in the terminal, they're waiting for their drive, right? You can set a KPI that we will not be longer than 20 minutes, for example, right? We will not wait for 20 minutes. Usually within 5 minutes, we will catch them already, but maximum 20 minutes, they will not wait. And if they have to wait 20 minutes, then you know what, you know, you can set something. I'll give you this thing extra, okay, as a consolation, or we will upgrade them in the room, because you can speak to the hotel and say, okay, these people from deluxe room, I can put them to superior room, right? So if we do that, we will upgrade you. That's what hotels do anyway, right? If there's a problem, right? Now, under gains, right, is actually what they want to gain from this, right? What they want to gain from this. What is the root cause? What is the aspiration? What is the dreams? What is the hope? So it goes back again to your homework, right? It goes back again to the homework. What are the dreams? What are the aspirations? What is the hopes that they want? Okay. So here, at the end of the day, what they really hope for, rather the doctors, right? They hope for they hope to look good in front of their patients. Okay, they want to be able to diagnose the new diseases. They want to be able to use new effective medication. So, for example, if there's a new medicine that has just been launched and they don't know about it until they go for this conference and they said, "Hey, did you know that? If you use a combination of these 3 drugs." Drug 1, because in the old days, for example, right, they were treating a particular disease with 1 drug. And if that doesn't work, they tried another drug. And if that doesn't, they try another drug, okay? And the patients keep coming back saying, doctor, it doesn't work, okay? And then now they go for the conference, they go for this event, and the expert there says, you know what, I just found out, if you combine drug 1, drug 2, and drug 3, and give it together, all 3 together in this dosage, right, it will kill that particular disease, right? So they're like, wow, this is so great. And then they go back to the customer, to their patient, and they say, you know what, this time we're going to try this new protocol, this new treatment protocol. And it's got this 3 things, just do it and come back to me after 3 days. And after 3 days, the patient comes back and says, doctor, you are so great, you're so amazing. And they start word of mouth, talking to their neighbors, their friends, and saying, this doctor is very good. When I'm sick, this doctor can cure me. This is what the doctor wants, right? This is what the doctor wants, because at the end of the day, if they're working in a hospital, they're working in a private clinic where they own the clinic, or they own the private hospital, they get respect, they get recognition, they get fulfillment, but also they get a long line of patients queuing up to see them. And in the medical world, patient equals money, right? Like for us in business, customers equal money. For medical line, if you're a doctor, patients equal money, right? So that's what they want. Okay, they're doing this to get their license. They're doing this to get education. They're doing this. So in the same breath, you need to understand the root cause for your customer and your customer's customer. So I'm assuming that you are not, Madeline, can I just check with you? Are you dealing with the doctors directly, or are you dealing with the organization that manages this for the doctors?
Directly to the doctors, but they manage the doctors. For example, to the hospital directly or to the bank, but they are the division that arrange that.
Okay, great. So these people are that means you are actually having what is called the influencers, in this case, who are the doctors, and then you have the decision maker, who's actually
Yes.
the person who's sitting down in a particular chair in a hospital or in a bank,
Yes.
wherever,
The
right?
influence of them. Yes.
Yeah, right. So you have got really two groups of people to take care of, or at least two groups of people that you need to take care of in this case. So your responses here should be taking into account both the decision maker and the influencer. And usually the decision maker, for those of you who are in software, it's the decision maker and the end user, right? The end user, the person who actually uses the software, or the employees who actually use the particular software, and the decision maker, the person who actually approves that the software, maybe the CTO, CIO, to be run. So you need to be taking both into account, right? Okay, that's done. We're already more than 1 hour in the
So
session.
Indra,
Yes.
means that we have to do like the workbook 5 and 6, day 5 and day 6 in each client, because the client are different. So we have to make it in each client. Is it?
Okay. If you're in your case, right? You are a. If I ask you to do it for each client, it might be difficult. Why? Because you have got bankers, you got doctors, and then another day you might have another new industry, right? It's a
Yes.
bit of a challenge, I understand.
Yes.
Generally, right? Generally, you look at what I would say, do this exercise for your most profitable customer, okay? Your ideal customer. So bear in mind, right? Working with banks, working with doctors, working with whatever. There are so many different types of customers, right? You have so many different types of people in your industry, and this is a great question, Madeline, because what I want you to do, right, is when you are doing these exercises, you need to know who is your most profitable customer, and if you don't know that, right, it's easy to find out, right? Bear in mind, your most profitable customer is not. Okay, let me just end this. I think we're pretty much done with the. I will. You can stop sharing now. Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. So your most profitable customer, okay, is not your biggest customer. Okay. Your most profitable customer may not even be the customer that gives you the most profit. Okay. Because imagine this, right? You may have a very profitable customer, right, who gives you the most profit, right? But there's a lot of unnecessary costs that you cannot see. For example, they are very horrible to you. They're so demanding. They make you run around. They make your life miserable. Okay? That is not a good customer to have, right? I've had many customers, and we have many customers, right, where I regret in the past. I regret bringing that customer on board. On the outside, it looked great because they are a big brand and everything looks good on the outside. But once you go in, they are not a good customer at all, right? It makes your life so miserable, and it actually, you have to do extra things. It takes so much of your time, right? So if you really want to know what is a good customer or not, count the number of hours that you are spending a week or per project with this customer. Take the amount of money that the customer is paying you. The customer paid me 100 million rupiah. Okay, I spend 80 hours a week doing this thing for 2 weeks straight. Okay, you divide that and you see how much of time and effort that you put in. That maybe that customer may not be helpful. Another customer who paid you 50 million rupiah and you're spending just 20 hours a week could be a much better customer in terms of profitable, right? So understand that you choose the customer that, or the niche or the industry or the segment, right? When you're doing this exercise, you want to do it for your best customer, right? Your most profitable customer, but it may not be, like I said, the customer who is giving you the most money, right? And in many cases, these big brands, as I found out, they look so great on the outside, But at the end of the day, you're not dealing with that big brand. You're dealing with one person who's sitting there who can make your life hell. Okay, so that is very, very key that you need to understand, right? And once you find this best customer, once you find these ideal customers, right? For example, take, for example, the medical industry, since we are talking about doctors, right? So you found that, wow, the doctors are great to work with because, you know, if you can just do this, only three things that they want, really, okay? They want to have a good time because they work so hard. They want to have a good time. So make sure that you do something where they really let out their stress, right? And it's a really thing where they go, wow, okay? Make sure that the content of the program is good, right? And then the third one, because they want to hang out, maybe they like to do a lot of smoke breaks, they like to smoke or whatever, and they like to chit chat. Okay, make sure that there's a lot of breaks in between the sessions, right? A lot of breaks where they can get up and do stuff. And that's one example. Or another example, you might find that your target market, they love food. They don't care about the content of what whoever is talking because they are just there. They work for the government. For example, they're bankers or whatever. They work for the government and they work for the big banks. They don't really care who is talking because at the end of the day, 1 + 1 = 2 and they know it. They're just there for the food. Then you make your food 5-star hotel, amazing food, right? And you make that amazing for them. But so this is what I mean, right? Once you understand your customer well, what really the job needs to be done. When they go for an event, in many cases, like when I do training, right? When I first started training, actually no, when I first started, when I was working in HSBC and I had all these employees, I had 200 people in my team that I had to send for training off and on, right? And I hated to send them for training. Why? Because if one person goes for training, then who's going to do the work of that person, right? And my team, they love to go for training. Why do they love to go for training? Not because they want to learn new things. They just want to get away from their boss, right? 2 days, they can get away from their boss. They don't have to see their boss's face. Oh, how nice it is. So I realized that for these kind of people, right, the training needs to be very, very exciting and interactive because they're not there for the information. They are there for the experience. They're there for the event. Sure, we have to do the training and we have to give them the knowledge because the people who pay us, right, are asking that knowledge be given. But how we deliver it, how exciting and how interesting we make it is really up to us because the participants have to say, yes, it was a good session, right? And they say it's a good session because they had fun. So here is where you got the decision maker who is the training manager in a particular industry. And then you've got the participants who are the end user, right? And you need to satisfy both, right? You need to satisfy both. So that's the point what I wanted to explain to you, okay? So remember about your customer, your ideal customer. And in many cases, the ideal customer, you might say, for example, that your ideal customer is bankers, okay? Is doctors. And then come the bankers, right? So imagine the bankers are horrible. Just imagine. I used to be a banker, so let me just say bankers are horrible because, you know, they never pay you enough, right? They're always counting the money and they're always over demanding for a lot of things, which is not true, but let's just say it is, right? So are you going to do the bankers or not? Yes, of course, you're going to do the bankers. It's extra money, right? Sure, of course you're going to do the bankers, but they are not your ideal customer. Okay, they're not your ideal customer, and you know how to treat them. You know how to draw a contract or draw a boundary to protect yourself, because you need to protect your energy so that you can serve your ideal customer better. Okay, and many of you, some of you are in service-based businesses. Okay, it's the same story in any service-based business. You need to protect your energy because, like, some of these customers are like vampires, right? They suck your happiness. They suck your will. They suck your motivation, your determination. And after having a conversation with them, you know, whenever you talk to them, it's always you go there with fear. You go there, oh my God, what is this? customer going to ask me now? Like, what are they going to do now? Like, whatever, right? That is not a good customer to have. And try your best to start firing. That's right. You can hire a customer. You can also fire a customer, just like you do employees, right? Try to start firing these customers as soon as you can, and try to get customers that you like and you want. Okay, now we are 15 minutes into the session. I wanted to ask you, clearly I've not done anything I've not done anything of actually today's session, but I think me giving you more new information, and me giving you more slides and more stuff to do, I think it's maybe now is not the time. Okay, so I didn't cover today's session at all, and maybe what I'll do is I will do a bonus session. So after the 10 days is done, who wants a bonus session? Type bonus, BONUS, in the chat. Who wants another day after 10 days? Type in the chat so I will know, then I can try to cover some of the other stuff that I have missed out. Type, if enough of you want a bonus session, then we will do day 11. Okay, we will do day 11 as another bonus session over and above this session. I am here because I'm committed. Okay, I know I only promised you guys 10 sessions, but I am committed to give you guys all the tools, everything you need. Okay, great. I love this group. Okay, I love you guys, because you guys are saying bonus. Bonus cannot be done. So Aya says bonus, but not on 14th of May. Sorry, but I cannot even do 14th of May on bonus for your bonus, because 14th of May, I've got another event at the same time in the morning, and in the afternoon, I've got another class that I am also running. Okay, so 14th of May is out, but maybe we can do something on another day, which I will let you know what days. Let me check my schedule, and so Aya says, "Thank God." Okay, great. Yeah, God is great. Let's do it.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Sorry, Indran.
Yeah.
Sorry, Indran. May I add something?
Sure.
So we were talking about bonus, and it just hits my head. I wanted to make a small bonus too. Actually, I would love to share with the group. When we find time, we will plan it. 30 minutes session about design thinking. So because I've been noticing that it might be very helpful. So I would love to share with them with my modest experience in design thinking, a small presentation and a small talk about design thinking, especially in this with the crisis of COVID-19. And this is the first bonus. And the second one is another networking session by the end of the program with all the members. And that's it.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you, Hademi. Thank you for offering this for free. I really appreciate the community in this group. You know how everyone wants to help everyone else and is offering stuff, right? So Hademi also does design thinking, which is a very, very important skill to have, which is it allows you to learn in a new way. Those of you who haven't been on a design thinking program, I certainly highly recommend you to understand the design thinking methodology, of which most of the amazing stuff and innovations that have been created have come out of design thinking, right? And design thinking can be used not just for products, it can be used for services, it can be used for government programs, it can be used for social programs, it can be used in so many different ways, design thinking. And certainly design thinking can also be used for you to solve your challenges now with your customer during COVID, which I hope that Hadimi will be covering that. Hadimi has got she's doing her PhD now. She's got a master's, and a master's was around design thinking. Okay, so she's highly qualified, certified. She's got all the qualifications, and best part of all, she's doing it at no cost to members in this group. How amazing is that? Awesome. Okay, so let's move on. So today, we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done for the day. I want you, for those of you who go back, right? For those of you who, when you go back, please go back and do your homework, day 5, day 6, if you haven't completed. For Ayah, don't have to translate into Indonesian, into English, right? If you do it in Indonesian, it's fine. If you want to do it in Japanese, go ahead and do it, whatever you want, okay? The important thing is for you, it must be relevant, it must be important. And I am here, I'm your coach, I'm your mentor, I'm somebody here who is sincerely wanting you to succeed, right? I'm telling you, companies, I charge, this is true story, I charge companies $1,200 per hour, okay? That is my charge out rate, 1,000 USD per, 1,200 USD per hour. And I'm giving you my knowledge, my skills, you know, my over 20 years of experience in sales and marketing, and over 20 countries doing this, right? So use me, leverage my experience, leverage my expertise, because who knows, after the challenge, that's it, game over, right? So after the challenge, let me just explain to you what's going to happen. After the challenge is over, this Facebook group that we have will be on for another 30 days for you just to catch up, okay? After that, it's done, okay? Because this is not a group where we are, you know, we are going to be on and on and on forever recovering sales. No, I give you the knowledge. It's a challenge, right? It's not a group. It's a challenge group, right? So you take the challenge, you do what it takes, and then it's done. The group is over. We move on to a new challenge, right? So that's how I am. But the COVID marketing group will always be there, because that is a long-term group. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing. So after this group, I will be having other challenges. Okay, other challenges. Some paid, some even maybe I might do it for free, just to help everyone to get on board, right? And at the end of the next month, I'm starting a membership group, right, where I will be. Because a lot of my students have been telling me, you know, the knowledge you give us is great, you know, but putting it into action is pretty hard, you know. We don't know how to implement it. You know, it sounds great, storytelling, and you know, I can see that Amazon has done it. I can see, you know, examples, or many examples of it being done, like many other brands being done. But I don't know how to do it for my business, so I need some help. I need a bit more hand holding. I need whatever. So I'm creating a community around that in the form of a membership group where you can come in and you get different themes. You get a roadmap, right? That's what I'm creating, a roadmap. I'll share more as we go along, for those of you who are interested to go down that route and get a bit more attention in this space. But like I said, the key here is, for this particular challenge, let us take it step by step. I don't mind doing a bonus session, even 2 bonus sessions, no problem. The important thing here is I want you guys to succeed, right? You need to be successful, because when you are successful, so am I. All right, so great. So anybody want to say anything else before we end the call for today? Anything else? Okay, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time. We have gone 1 hour. We've gone 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's the 90-minute session, more or less, right? Okay, great, everyone. See you tomorrow, same time. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Indran and Hannah.